Yeah.
All right, so go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, and I guess Julie does not agree with me. So usually, like when you're adding liquid, so going back to how you want to add the minimum amount of liquid that you possibly can get away with. You also want to add as much liquid initially.
Oh,
as
yeah.
well as you can get away with, because it prevents it from
becoming dry.
Well, because you don't want to add like a tablespoon mix. Because, so if you can add not all of your liquid, but the majority of your liquid in your initial mixing.
say a third of a cup at a time. So this is why I say add a third and then, but I think I do half. Like I would add half of it and then go from there.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Because you very well might not use all of that.
So what was in the cup before you add the water?
There was lemon juice. So we're going to use lemon juice as our acid. But again, you can use vinegar, wine,
If you use
white
vodka,
wine.
would you
Or
also
vodka.
want the lemon juice? Is the vodka just
No.
evaporate quickly, or is it also an acid?
It's vodka because how much vodka
It
has,
functions as the acid. I mean, clearly, it's
It
not
does.
the. Yeah. I mean, it plays that same role. Even if.
But you would add
chemically it's
more
not the same.
vodka than you would lemon juice because it's used as part of the liquid. And there's not a lot of water in vodka. Yeah, that whole vodka thing.
But
Have to try that.
it pulls water out of the solution, which is why you use it, right? I mean,
Right.
It pulls
helps.
water, right?
Yeah,
So it
and-
dries the pastry. My wife does the
Does-
vodka thing too.
Yeah. And I think, that, good solid recipe. If you
Warming up, put it back in the fridge or freezer or whatever, get it cold again. Again, we just want to keep everything cold at all the stages. So if your, phone rings, go throw it in the fridge.
What temperature is cold?
The
Cold to the touch.
Yeah,
Like, it
yeah.
should-
The butter
you should
shouldn't
want
be
to-
melting. It should be hard. You want to keep, so the object is to keep the integrity of the butter in the layers of the dough, because then that becomes your flaky part.
probably 45, 50 degrees. You don't want it warmer than that.
Okay, so I'm going to add third to half of my flour, and I'm just going to mix it really fast because you don't want the water just to sit in one area and just become soggy.
Why can't you put the lemon juice in separately? Because if you don't use all the water, then you've diluted the
Well,
amount of lemon juice.
and that was my what I was gonna say is I do because I don't know that I'm gonna use all the water, but I do know that I want to use all that lemon juice. That I usually do add the lemon juice first separately.
Or mix the lemon juice with
A little bit of water.
Yeah.
I know I'm going to use all this water. But so I'm just sort of tossing it all around, and it looks horribly dry, but it's not. It's really moist, and it's starting to hold together. So, and at this point, what I would do, because this is just a small batch, and I would actually take it out of my bowl and dump it on the table, because I have more control of the pastry on the table than I do in this bowl digging down to the bottom. So it's still pretty dry, but it's coming together. So I'm going to go ahead and add a wee bit more.
Does that have a fancy French name?
A wee bit. Well, this part doesn't yet. Putting it out on the table, but the facade.
Yeah.
We'll get there. So if you guys want to feel that, it's actually done.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah, I know. Really?
So loose. Is that why it's always tough?
Yeah, but it holds together.
I can do flaky and tough.
Yeah.
I can do tender and not flaky. And that's why.
my descriptor word. I always say this is starting to look shaggy.
Shaggy, yeah.
Right, yeah. We talked about bread.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But you can feel the moisture in there. You can,
Yeah.
yeah, if it's sticky or if you feel those like wet, gluey, yeah, that's not good. But so I didn't use quite all my lemon juice, so sorry about that. So, go ahead, yeah.
And you
So-
guys want to come in and give it a squeeze?
You got it pretty
Okay.
good. So now what I do, and this is the fancy French, but I don't quite do it. I don't smear my butter. So if the frissage is to smear your butter into your flour like that. But what I do is I create it like in a rectangle towards me, And I just quickly press it down. This is what's really hard to write in a recipe, what I'm doing. And then I fold it kind of shaggily on top of itself and do it again. And so now you can sort of see the wheat dough a little bit more once you've hydrated it. And you use a scraper to usually get that part off you. So I've just kind of folded it over on itself, kind of similarly to maybe rough puff, but this is just fast. And then we're done. So I didn't really mix this with, and I did that all very quickly with just quick little, I don't know what that foreign product thing is. I did it quickly without like sitting my hands on this to warm it up. I've kept it cold. I haven't over mixed it because there was no actual stirring involved, just like tossing the water in with my hands. And then, where's that dough divider? Lovely layers of dough, just by folding it together because there wasn't, mixing necessarily.
Some chunks
So
of butter, right?
yeah, with some chunks of butter because we want to create a flaky dough. We don't want all that butter in there. That would make a mealy or a shorter dough.
Anybody like mealy pie crust?
Some people do. I mean, that's what a Crisco, like that nice
Well,
diner
When we do
crust.
the sampling, you'll see the lard crust, the lard and butter, is super short.
And super yummy.
Yeah, and it does have, but yeah, it's really interesting to see it in comparison to the all butter.
Yeah. So what we're going to do today is each group is going to make one of a batch of this, and then when you're done and have it all mixed, we'll divide it into 4 because here we have 4 crusts, and then you want to just sort of pat it down, and then we'll wrap it up. So now we have there it is. This is just dirty. We're not going to cook this one.
Yeah, that counter will transfer black.
Oh, shoot. How are we going to make our pastry? So then we'll wrap each one of these. And
Parchment.
yeah, we can do them on parchment. So, here's a crust. So this is a 9-inch crust to be rolled out. We would now chill it down again. So there's the stages. You make your crust, you get it to this point, and then you have to get it cold and let it rest. We've just worked this flour and we've developed the protein. We would not be able to roll this out successfully right now. It would be too warm and it would just snap right back at us. It'd just be angry with us. So we want to.
You have some leeway just to give your brain permission. Like the pie dough, it can warm up at this stage should that happen, but you should never go into the next stage without chilling it completely.
Right.
So it's not ruined if
it's
got a phone call and left it out.
Yeah.
It's fine, but you have to, before you roll it out, you have to get it cold again.
And then at this stage too, we've just made, with this recipe, we've made 4, they're probably not even, you can weigh them out. They're supposed to weigh like 12 ounces each, but 3/4 pound each. You could stick it in the freezer. So you can make one pie, put that in the fridge, and then wrap these. They're all set and ready to go for when you make pie next week or whenever the raspberries are in season. But you just want to pull it out of the freezer, let it come to temperature in your fridge. Keep it cold still. Then get it out, let it warm up for like 5 minutes, and you should be able to roll it out.
What's the longest you can leave it in the freezer?
Everyone has their, I was gonna say 3 to 6 months.
What do you wrap
But-
it in? Just
Just
it
some
in
plastic wrap,
and
yeah.
You don't need
Make
to
sure you label
vacuum
it.
or-
You can if you have one,
It would help keep it together too.
Okay.
You kind of-
Freezer burn away from it. But there it is, ta-da. And so you can see the flakes that we've created, and it looks like this might be a nightmare to roll out. It won't. Once it's chilled down, this will be a dream to roll out. And this is the whole wheat that whole wheat pastry flour. And do you want to test the samples now before we make a mess of everything?
Do people want to mix or taste?
I mean, we have just some crust variations, that one with butter, and then we can divide into the groups and make the pastry. Okay.
A wheat